Let's start with the cold, prickly truth. Goosebumps are your body's attempt to make you look scarier. Not warmer. Not cozier. Scarier. Number 1. Goosebumps are war paint. See, when you feel cold or afraid, those little muscles at the base of your hair follicles contract. You know the drill. You get tiny bumps, and your hair stands on end. Today, that just means you need a sweater or you're listening to sad music. But 100,000 years ago, it was part of your body's "I'm a terrifying beast, don't mess with me" protocol. You had more body hair back then. When it stood up, it made you appear larger and puffed up, like a porcupine with a subscription to CrossFit. This was supposed to intimidate predators or rival humans. Unfortunately, you lost most of the useful body hair, but kept the alarm system. Now, instead of scaring off saber-tooths, you just look like someone who's trying way too hard to pretend they're not freezing. Basically, goosebumps are like trying to threaten someone by inflating a balloon you already popped. Number 2. That useless tail you're still growing. You were born with a tail. Yes, you. And no, that's not a metaphor about your ex's baggage. It's called the coccyx, or tailbone, and it's a leftover from when our primate ancestors used their tails for balance and swinging from tree branches like the most chaotic circus act in nature. At some point in evolution, we said, yeah, no thanks, to tail swinging and went bipedal instead. But the blueprints? Still there. In fact, some babies are born with actual tail-like appendages. They're called vestigial tails, and while doctors usually remove them early, it's still proof that your genetic code is basically hoarding old features like a biological antique shop. What does your tailbone do now? It's just there, sitting at the base of your spine, getting fractured when you fall in the worst possible way. It's like keeping a doorknob to a door that doesn't exist anymore, but it still manages to get in your way. Number 3. The panic button in your brain that thinks you're still in the jungle. Ever had a full-blown panic reaction to something totally harmless? Like getting a slightly aggressive email or hearing a strange noise in your house at 2 a.m. That's your amygdala, the primitive fear center of your brain, slamming the run or die button without checking the situation first. This part of your brain evolved to help you survive in ancient environments where most problems did need immediate, life-saving decisions. Is that a rustling bush? Might be a leopard. Better flood your body with adrenaline just in case. But now, that rustling is your cat, or your neighbor, or a notification sound. Your amygdala hasn't caught up. It's still coded like you're being hunted 24/7. That's why anxiety feels so irrational. It's the right response for the wrong century. Your brain's basically a hyper-vigilant bodyguard with no idea you moved to a studio apartment and work from a laptop. Number 4. Your wisdom teeth are an archaeological curse. Your mouth was never designed for modern food, or modern skulls, for that matter. Wisdom teeth are like the bonus track on an old album. Nobody asked for them. They hurt, and they show up way too late. Back in the good old hunter-gatherer days, we needed extra molars to chew raw meat, roots, and bark because prehistoric dental plans were non-existent. Plus, our jaws were larger to accommodate them. Fast forward to now, we eat soft foods, our jaws are smaller, and those extra teeth have nowhere to go. So they just crash into your gums, causing pain, infection, or weird sideways growth like a cursed fossil trying to dig its way out. It's like installing an extra seat in a car that already has no legroom. So, dentists remove them. But really, you should blame evolution for throwing in a bonus feature without checking if the hardware could handle it. Number 5. The gag reflex was never about choking. This one's going to make you rethink your relationship with your throat. The gag reflex, that sudden spasm at the back of your mouth when something goes too far, is a defensive mechanism, but not just to stop choking. In ancient times, it was mostly about keeping you from eating something poisonous. Rotten food, sharp objects, random non-edibles. Your body had one answer: eject. Violently. Now, it's a smart move if you're foraging berries in the forest. Not so helpful when you're trying to swallow a pill, brush your tongue, or, well, the reflex still thinks you're a wandering toddler shoving twigs into your mouth. And honestly, it's not wrong if you've ever had gas station sushi. Number 6. You're still wired to see faces that aren't there. You've seen it. A face in the clouds. A face in an outlet. A face in your toast. That's pareidolia, your brain's weird little obsession with finding faces everywhere, even where there aren't any. And it's not a glitch, it's a survival feature. See, Back in the day, recognizing faces quickly helped you identify danger. Was that person angry? Friendly? Part of your tribe? You didn't have time to analyze, so your brain started treating any two dots in a line like it might be someone watching you. Useful when avoiding predators or angry villagers. Less useful when you're scared of a power socket that looks mad. It's why horror movies are so good at creeping you out with empty windows. Your brain fills in the rest. You're not seeing ghosts. You're seeing your brain's ancient face detection software having a panic attack. Number 7. Shivering is your body's attempt at starting a fire. Internally. Ever been so cold you start trembling like a phone on vibrate? That's not weakness. It's prehistoric ingenuity. Shivering is your body trying to generate heat the only way it knows how, by making your muscles contract rapidly. Those micro-movements burn energy and create warmth, like starting a fire with friction, but using your own tissue. Back in the Ice Age, this kept people from freezing to death in the open. Now, it's just what happens when you forget a hoodie in an over-air-conditioned Starbucks. Fun fact, if you're shivering, you're already hypothermic. That trembling is your body's frantic attempt to stop what it assumes is imminent death by cold exposure. All that from a chilly breeze or walking past the frozen food aisle. Evolution really needs a firmware update. Number 8. Sneezing at the sun, because that's a thing apparently. This is a real phenomenon called the photic sneeze reflex, and it affects about 1 in 4 people. Basically, you look at a bright light and your body goes, I don't know what this is, better eject everything from the nose immediately. There's no great evolutionary reason for it. The leading theory is that your optic nerve and trigeminal nerve, which controls your sinuses, are just a little too cozy in the brain, and sometimes they misfire. It's like your body's electrical wiring got crossed during development. Instead of brightness equals open eyes, your brain sometimes hears brightness equals violent sneeze. Imagine trying to survive in the wild and sneezing every time the sun rises. That's how you get eaten before breakfast. Number 9. You're biologically designed to freak out when being watched. You felt it. That creepy sensation that someone's staring at you, even when you can't see them. It's not just paranoia. It's an ancient defense mechanism designed to detect predators or angry humans, long before they got close. Scientists call this the gaze detection system. Your brain is weirdly good at noticing when eyes are fixed on you. That internal alarm would have helped ancient humans survive ambushes, social conflicts, or figure out when someone in the tribe was about to throw a rock at their head. Today, that's just your anxiety flaring up when someone looks in your general direction at the gym. Or why you can't relax in a room with a creepy portrait whose eyes follow you. You're not crazy. Your brain is just stuck in village survival mode. Number 10. You're hardwired to fear. Triangles? Okay, not all triangles. Just the sharp, unnatural, symmetrical ones. There's research suggesting humans instinctively associate certain geometric shapes with danger. The most commonly feared design? Downward-pointing triangles. Why? Probably because teeth, claws, and weapons all share similar aggressive shapes. Your brain reads those lines like a warning label. This thing is sharp, aggressive, and probably not here to cuddle. It's why horror movie monsters tend to have spiky faces and jagged features, and why certain logos or warning signs use that triangle shape to trigger a primal alert. Designers and advertisers know this. They're hacking your ancient visual instincts. You're not being manipulated by design trends. You're being manipulated by caveman fears in HD. Final thoughts. You're a walking museum of outdated survival tricks. So yeah, your body is amazing, but also kind of ridiculous. You're living in a hyper-connected, artificial light, air-conditioned world, with a brain and body still optimized for hunting gazelles barefoot while worrying about getting eaten by a giant cat. All those quirks, goosebumps, panic spirals, sneezing at the sun, they're not bugs. They're ancient features still running in the background like ghost code. You're not broken. You're just over-equipped for a reality that no longer exists. Still curious? Hit subscribe. Your ancient brain will thank you.